So Danny Jones had an interview on his podcast with Tim Gallaudet. Tim Gallaudet is seems pretty confident that the Tic Tac UFO that Ross Coulthart is saying is Lockheed Martin's technology is not ours. He finds it very suspicious that the UFO nicknamed the Tic Tac would be performing black budget secret flight training in an area where we would have our pilots, right? And we're looking at a possibility of mid-air collisions, and it's just a very dangerous situation to put our pilots into. So Tim Gallaudet doesn't believe that this is our tech. And I want you to hear this because not too long ago we heard Ross Coulthart say that his sources are saying that this technology is Lockheed Martin's tech. It's American tech. But I'm not so sure. I could be wrong. Let's listen to what Tim Gallaudet has to say.
For me, I was under Fleet Forces Command, the 4-star Admiral in Norfolk, and I supervised all the weather guessers and oceanographers in the Navy, and they were on the ship weather forecasting, the Roosevelt. So I had some authority and responsibility for what was going on there, and I get this email from the ops officer at Fleet Forces Command who's overseeing the training exercise the Roosevelt was in, and he sends it to every subordinate commander, me, the strike group commander at the time, other strike group commanders, other commands like the Navy Safety Center who reported to him, and the title of it was all caps, Urgent Safety of Flight Issue. And attached was the Go Fast video, and this is over the Navy secret network in 2015 before it was leaked or declassified. And he said basically, if any of you know what these are, tell me ASAP. We're having numerous near-mid-air collisions. Remember, Ryan talked about a section of aircraft being split, which is absolutely crazy from a safety standpoint. You don't want aircraft to be within a mile of you. If you're, and so he said, tell me ASAP, inferring, and he said, we might have to shut down the exercise if this still happens, if this keeps occurring. The implication was, if this is some crazy U.S. tech demo and I don't know about it, the 2-star in charge of the exercise, or the 2-star supporting the 4-star in charge of the exercise, he said, I need to know now, because when aircraft carriers train to deploy like this, it's very compressed. Every pilot has to get certified to land on a flight deck. Every ship has to check a box about what they're doing. Can they do underway refueling? Can they perform these weapons launches and et cetera? So there's all these evolutions you have to be able to prove you can do before you go deploy. So there's no time to mess around. And the 4-star that I worked for, every week he'd hold meetings with all his subordinates. I was one. And all they talked about was the training cycle, where we were, anything interfering with it. It was the #1 job of that 4-star, train forces to deploy. So when you have something effing with a training event, that's a big deal. And what happened is that video and that email, the next day it was wiped from my computer, and he never talked about that UFO encounter. So what was going on there? Well, it was obviously classified. Was it a classified U.S. tech demo? I really doubt it, because again, you got the 4-star and all those 1-stars and all these forces, these ships getting ready to deploy. We don't do tech demos in training ranges. That's what we do that in instrumented test ranges where we can gather all the data and say that worked, that didn't. And so I don't know, the premise of the Tic Tac and the Go Fast being tech demos in training ranges, that just doesn't fly with me. I don't know. Now, there is this possibility that's been floated out there. Maybe they did do that. That they wanted that kind of real world sort of simulation. But in all my years in the Navy, we didn't I never saw that happen.
How much collaboration does the Navy have with private contractors?
A ton.
Really?
They build our ships.
So if Lockheed or one of these corporations wanted to test some of their black tech that nobody knows anything about, not even the generals.
China Lake, that's what they do. They have an instrumented range there. I mean, yeah, and I've been there.
What's China Lake?
Oh, it's something, I forgot the exact term of it. It's something like the Navy weapons and training.
Okay.
Ask Steve to look it up.
Okay. So it's like it's just like a testing ground where there's nobody.
Right. That's what those places are for. And that's where we do it with those contractors.
It seems like from some of the stories of some of these whistleblowers.
There you go.
There it is.
It's a beautiful
cool.
part of the country, by the way, the high desert.
It seems like, some of the whistleblowers we've been seeing over the last couple of years have been alluding to this this shadowy private navy or private military that is essentially commandeered, reverse engineered, somehow advanced technology that they've been able to continuously develop and test without anybody in the US military or government, for that matter, knowing about or having access to. Like when you, like, for example, like the Michael Herrera stuff, or some of these other people that Jesse Michaels has talked to with like crazy psionic type stuff that you'd only like hear about in Stranger Things or something like this.
So I think private contractor possession and R&D of UAP materials is happening. I think that was really, we all know, I think generally that's how the legacy program was able to continue and not be held accountable to Congress. Now, I don't know the ins and outs, and this is all information I have second or third hand. And I'll actually, my primary source is someone who's researched this thoroughly and has connections in the right way, and I believe in him and his authority. I won't say I believe in him, I trust him. And so what he says I hold as true, and that's Carl Nell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, I think you ought to have him on the show. He's
yeah.
brilliant, a great guy, and he's, with me, a leading advocate on the UAP Disclosure Act. So he's touched these programs closer than me, and recall, he was the Army's lead for the UAP task force. Another guy you might want to have on after his book comes out is Jay Stratton. So he led the UAP task force. These are questions they know better than me, I'm sure. And they all say words to the effect of yes. I don't know about Pentagon money going to it. I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but they probably have a better grip on that.
Yeah. I think it's probably just a mixture of everything. I think it's some of this stuff is probably stuff we have no clue what it is. Some of it could be foreign stuff. Some of it could be black budget stuff. Have you seen those Lockheed Cormorants?
No, what's that?
You haven't seen the Lockheed Cormorant? Oh, Steve-o. Pause that search for Jolly West and look for the Lockheed Cormorant. It's this crazy looking, it looks like a cormorant flying through the air, but it's an undersea sub. It's like a drone. There it is.
Wow.
Is
it operational?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay. Well, interestingly, here's a fun fact.
So that was just a clip of Danny Jones' podcast. I encourage you to go watch his full podcast. I'll have it linked down below so you guys can check it out. There's a lot of fascinating stuff in here. And the conversation that Danny ended up having with Tim Gallaudet was quite interesting. And you guys, let me know what you think down below. Do you think that the Tic Tac is Lockheed Martin's tech? Is that our tech? I'm not entirely convinced it is, but to be honest with you, I'm not entirely convinced that it isn't either. It just seems to be so advanced with the anti-gravitic technology, and then listening to what Anna Paulina Luna said on the Joe Rogan show, it doesn't sound like from her perspective that we have back engineered this stuff quite that much, and that the tech is so many hundreds of years ahead of us that it's difficult for us to back engineer, but what do I know, right? So anyways, you guys, let me know down below what you guys think. You guys, Danny Jones' channel will be linked in the description down below, so go check him out, show him some love. You guys like and follow so you guys never miss a video. I try to cover this as much as I can. I have some more stuff coming. Hopefully you like what I'm bringing to your attention. You guys, I'm out of here. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace out.